Hello. I want to come down there. This is dumb to be up here so far away from you. How are you guys? How much cable I can get out of there?
How are you?
I will, gosh!
Use your alchemy!
It's all tangled. I'll never get the knots out.
I know, right?
Nobody wants Charlie in the box. Herbie, you're an elf. Elves make toys.
I know, but I want to be a dentist. I'm getting there. Oh, I thought I had it. One more. Yay! As I was saying, one more.
2 hours later. Success!
Yes! I'm so glad you're here. Wow, this is very bright. 1, 3, that's me. Turn that down a little bit, and we'll turn that up to make it a little, oh yeah. I want you to feel it. Kids, leave the room. It's gonna get steamy up in here. Hey, I know that bear.
I love that bear.
You guys, I am so glad to see you. How many of you, this is the first time you've been to Fan Expo? Oh my gosh, nice. A bunch of newbies, excellent. I have been here, I have to tell you something funny. I have been a guest at the Fan Expo. I know, isn't that hilarious? I've been a guest at the Fan Expo. He's so stupid. I've been here for like 6 years in a row, I think. But wait a minute, every time I come, like today, I was talking to my manager downstairs, and he goes, "It's really a great weekend, right?" And I said, "Yeah, but every time I come back, I think this is going to be the year that nobody shows up." You know what I mean? This will be the year that nobody comes to my table, and I walk in, and there's like crickets. You know what I mean? And there's nobody there. But every year, I am just always consistently blown away by... Well, I love you guys. That's the problem. And, all of you, collectively. And so I'm always just so humbled and honored that you guys come to see me. So thank you for that. Thank you so much. Now, a little teeny bit of housekeeping. I had to show a little bit. I have to tell you about this new release. This is a live concert DVD that I just released. Last year, I did a... Did you see it?
Yes.
Wait a minute. Let's give a little testimonial from a woman on the street. Excuse me. Did you have a chance to see the Vic Mignogna live concert DVD?
Yes, I have.
And what were your thoughts on it?
It was fantastic.
And there you have it. Last year I did a concert in Houston, Texas, and the organizers of the concert told me that they were going to have intelligent lighting and fog machines and HD cameras and even a jib arm, you know, those arms that take the camera up and swoop over the audience. And I'm like, I thought, what a perfect opportunity to shoot the concert, right, and do like a live concert DVD. And so we did that, and the crowd was great, the video looks great, and there's even Dolby 5.1 surround sound mix on the concert. But the coolest part, I mean, the music is great, but the coolest part is... I can't believe you just said that. There are some bonus features on this disc.
I would vote for you.
Well, there are 4 guys right there. I could have won right there. There are some bonuses, and let me tell you about them because I think you'll really be excited about it. Years and years ago, right when we had started recording Fullmetal Alchemist, the first one. I love me some Fullmetal. But when we started, like 5 or 6 episodes in, I was like so falling in love with this show, and I thought, wow, this is unlike any anime series I've ever done. And so I wanted to cosplay, right? You guys know better than anybody. When you get excited about something, you have a passion about something, you want to cosplay. Am I right? So I tried to figure out what would be a good story whereby I could cosplay as Edward Elric. And then you're like, first of all, you need to chop your legs off. But then I started talking to some of the other voice actors, and they're like, we would love to be a part of this. So we got together one weekend in Houston, and we shot something called Fullmetal Fantasy. How many of you guys have ever seen Fullmetal Fantasy? Okay, the rest of look around, like not many of you. This is the coolest thing ever, and it's literally the voice actors cosplaying as their characters. It's a live action parody, and it's on the concert DVD. I usually show it at concerts as part of the live performance, but it's never been available. You couldn't watch it online, you couldn't get it anywhere. And as I was preparing the concert DVD, I thought, you know, it's part of the concert. I should probably put it on there. So now it's available, and I think you guys will really get a kick out of it. I don't really think any voice actors have ever done too much cosplaying, especially not like this. I mean, we shot the whole thing. It's very theatrical, and you'll love it. There's another bonus feature. Back in 1993.
I wasn't born! My parents were dating!
Back in 1993, I was on a show that predated American Idol called Star Search. I'm looking at the parents and they're like, yeah, I remember Star Search. I was a male vocalist challenger. And you guys, it was terrifying.
You should have won.
I had a mullet and a purple double-breasted suit. I thought I was so stylish. Now I look back and I'm like... But anyway, I didn't win. I didn't expect to win, but I didn't win, and so I was kind of embarrassed. And so I basically hid the video away. So if you didn't watch it in 1993 or see a rerun in 94 or 95, you wouldn't ever see this video. So I thought, as I was looking for bonus features to put on the video, I thought, you know, I should just go ahead and face my humiliation and put this Star Search performance on the DVD. So that is also on the concert DVD. I've got them down at the table, and along with all of my music, and if I've not gotten to meet you guys this weekend, I hope you'll come by the table right after this Q&A session and let me sign something for you. And you got to get the DVD because you'll love it to death. And I'd be awesome. I'd be honored to sign it for you. And I've got all the music there as well. So I wanted to let you know about that. I always get bummed out about Q&A sessions on Sunday because it doesn't give me the chance to talk to you guys early on in the weekend. But you can get them online, but I can't sign them that way. So please come down later if you're interested. I'd love for you to have one. I'm currently working on a lot of new shows, most of which I'm not allowed to talk about yet.
Fullmetal 3.
I know. You know how it is. They make us sign all these, these agreements that we're not going to talk about stuff. But I am excited about several things I'm working on. How many of you yesterday came to see our Star Trek screening? I love you, and you, and you, and you, and all of you that came. We had so much fun making that. For those of you that were not here yesterday, or those of you that didn't come, I hope you'll check it out online. It's a brand new web series that picks up right where the original series of Star Trek left off. I mean, like the moment that the original series ended, ours picks up. It's called Star Trek Continues, fitting name. And I am fulfilling a childhood dream of playing Captain Kirk. I love Captain Kirk! I love William Shatner! There, I said it. I said it. I love William Shatner. And we've recreated all the sets to perfect accuracy. And we shot our first episode. We screened it yesterday. We shot it in January. It's been online. You can watch it on YouTube and Vimeo. Go to StarTrekContinues.com. You can see a lot of great pictures. And like us on Facebook. It's official Star Trek Continues. So check us out. And share, even if you're not a Star Trek fan, share it with somebody. I guarantee you somebody in your family, your dad, you know what I'm talking about. Your dad loves Star Trek. Your mom loves Star Trek. Your crazy uncle, he likes Star Trek. Your school teacher, somebody in your circle is a Star Trek fan. So please let them know about this, okay? And to wet their whistle a little bit, to like tease them a little bit. Who's a big enough Star Trek fan in here to tell me who played Scotty in the original series of Star Trek? James Doohan was his name. We're talking the original Scotty. We're talking about, I can't do it in a powered captain. That guy. Beat me up Scotty. Him. Right? James Doohan. His son, Chris Doohan, is playing Scotty in our series. How cool is that? He even looks like his dad. He's awesome. He's so great. I love him to death. You'll love him. I know a lot of you guys are Mythbusters fans. Wow. Mythbusters, Grant Imahara is playing Sulu. How cool is that? And we've just got a lot of great people involved. In fact, our premiere episode is a sequel to an original series episode. And the guy that was the guest star, the actor that was the guest star in the episode 45 years ago, reprises his role in our episode 45 years later. It's awesome. It looks, feels, sounds more like original Star Trek than anything that anyone has done since 1969. So I hope you'll check it out, all right? And tell your friends about it too. Let's talk about, let's see. If you're on Twitter, I'd love you to follow my Twitter feed. It's at Vic Mignogna, so if you can figure out how to spell my last name, I'll be here next year like, I tried to follow you. I did every different possible combination of letters. I couldn't figure out how to spell your last name. But follow me on Twitter. And if you're not a part of the greatest fan club on the planet Earth, are you a part of the greatest fan club on the planet?
Maybe.
Well, it's not the Habercorn one, I can promise you that. No, not a bit. Not a bit. Consider yourselves personally invited to join the greatest group of people on the planet. They're called the Rizambool Rangers. We are 24,000 strong. We could crush Team Habercorn and not even know it. We could step on them and go, oh, I just felt a bug between my toes. I love Todd. I love Todd. He's like the little annoying little brother that I never had. I mean, I love him to death, you know what I mean? But he's like, I told him the other day, I'm so jealous of you because he's 29 or 30 years old. I'm like, man, I wish I were young again and being able to experience all this at his age. He's a lucky guy, but, sorry? Yeah, whatever. See what I mean? All I know is you can double it for me. That's all I know. So let's talk about anything you guys want to talk about. I do want to preface our time together by saying this. Can you tell that my voice is a little shot? It's, trust me, it feels bad in here. It's a lot, you know that the convention hall downstairs, there's a lot of ambient just noise. So everybody that comes up to the table, you push a little harder to talk to them. So after talking all day and recording voice messages, short rants, kakarot's out the wazoo, my voice is shot. So I'm going to ask you guys, please, to have mercy on me.
Would you like a Halls?
And not ask me. I would love a Halls, Link, please. And Legend of Zelda gives me Halls. I love it. And, you know what? It's bad enough you take your own panel. You're going to come and steal my time. Take my time. Steal the attention. Go ahead, little brother.
Hi, everybody. As you know, next week is Vic's birthday.
Sorry, audio difficulty.
As you know, next week is Vic's birthday. And so I went on a mission to find a rare gift for him. And this is issue 6 of the original run of the Star Trek comics. There ain't many of these, and they're not in this good of condition. So I present to you, Captain, an early birthday present. And that is for you. Look at that thing.
All right, do the music for this shot. Percussion track there. Dude, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. You know, I'm going to say this in front of everybody here because some of you, I'm sure they've probably come up and asked you as well. I love Todd. We tease each other, we joke with each other. He writes all over my characters' faces. But you know what? If I could have a little brother, I'm an only child, and if I could have a little brother, I would want him to be Todd Habercorn. He probably is like, I'm gonna buy this because I'm on the front cover.
there you go.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
I love you, Todd. Thank you, brother. Hey, look, he brought his 3 Habercorn members in. Team Habercorn. Yeah, he's awesome, you guys. We tease each other all the time, but people have come up. It's so funny. It's so funny that people like think that if you tease with somebody, you must be like enemies or something. People are, do you hate Todd? No. What? No. Are you Todd fighting? Are you enemies? No. Why would you think that? Well, we're teasing each other. Well, don't you tease your friends? And would he possibly be playing Mr. Spock in my Star Trek series if I didn't like the guy? No, we love each other. We're good buddies. We love to have cigars. We go to conventions and we'll go out on Friday night or Saturday night, have some dinner, and walk along the sidewalk and smoke cigars. Anyway, consider yourselves personally invited to join the Rangers. You would instantaneously have a family of 24,000 people. And they're a family that loves anime. Unlike, you know, your real family sometimes is like, turn that weird Japanese crap off. You and your stupid anime. Clearly they haven't watched or on High School yet. Am I right? Right? Parents in the room, watch Oran High School. You make your kids watch stuff you like, you watch stuff for them, right? Yay, honey senpai. Okay, I tell you what, so please be nice to me. No, please don't ask me to do like any loud yelling short rants or kakarats or any, let's just talk about fun stuff. There's plenty of fun stuff to talk about, am I right? Without screaming stuff. Oh, Link, where's my house? Give it a throw.
Are you sure you can catch?
I don't know. In fact, you know what? If I didn't think I'd break my teeth, I would have... Okay, let's try it, right? Vic choked to death right in front of us. Are you shooting video? Did you get it? Yeah. It's like nobody wants to do the Heimlich or anything. They're just, are you shooting? Are you rolling right now? This guy's like, this is gold. I hope he dies. I'll make hundreds. Okay. Yes.
I have a present for you for your birthday.
Well, you don't have to do that. Come over here. Come over here. I've got a present for you. Show me. Oh, did you really? Thank you.
And this one too.
I'm not short. I'm fun-sized. I love it. And Tamaki. Thank you, sweetie. You guys, some of my favorite things are the artwork that you guys done. There's a faction, there's a wing of the Risen Bull Rangers called the Deviant Art Rangers. Are there Deviant Art Rangers in here? OMG, you guys. Last week, I got an envelope, a big, thick envelope in the mail, and it was from Mandy, who runs the Rangers. She's our head poobah, our big boss of the Rangers. And it was just a big, thick envelope, and I didn't even know what was in it. I was busy, and I sat it down, went on to other things, and then I sat down like 3 or 4 days after I'd gotten it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even look to see what Mandy sent me. And I opened it up, and it was probably 60 or 70 original artwork birthday cards. I mean, some of the neatest, most beautiful things. I sat in my room, literally, and I was just like, almost in tears, thinking, you know what I was imagining in my mind? I was imagining these kids sitting in their room somewhere, some little bedroom, by themselves, quietly, in Australia, or, you know, or Chicago, or New Zealand, or London, and drawing this beautiful picture, and writing a note, and then sending it off to somebody, and then they all got compiled and sent to me. There is no amount of money that you could put on that. That means the world to me, and I love that. So thank you for the artwork, sweetheart. I love it. Yes?
Out of both endings, the Brotherhood fighting its father and the Conqueror of Shambhala series, which ending do you think is the best?
Oh, wow. Well, you know what? The ending to the first series was not much of an ending at all. You know what I mean? It kind of left a lot of things hanging, you know, with Ed heading off on the train or whatever he was doing. Isn't it interesting that he was heading off on the train again in Brotherhood, but under a whole different set of circumstances, if you know what I mean? I have to tell you the truth. When we got to the last episode, when we were getting ready to record the final episode of Fullmetal, and I was in the booth, I'm in this box recording booth. I had no idea how Brotherhood ended. No clue. Had never seen anything, read anything, I knew nothing, all right? Now remember that I'd been through the whole first series, Conqueror of Shambhala, OVAs, video games, right? Then the whole Brotherhood series. So I really felt a close connection with Ed and all of the characters. So when we got to the final scene in Brotherhood, I turned the page, and the first thing I saw on the page were the characters that were speaking. And it was Ed Winry, Ed Winry, Ed, and I'm like, and I started to get kind of choked up, and I looked through the glass at the director in the control room, and I said, "Is this what I think it is?" And he went, and they put the scene on the video, and I watched the scene for the first time and listened to it in Japanese and kind of followed along with the script, right? And I was like bawling. Because, like I said, you've played this character for so long, and you've seen this relationship between Ed and Winry for so many years, and finally, there's, you know what I mean? There's some closure to it. For those of you that haven't seen it, Ed confesses to Winry that he's gay. It goes something like this. Winry, I have a confession. Me and Lang, no, it's, I don't want to give it away, but I kind of did. I mean, you can kind of guess where it's going with Ed and Winry. He always took advantage of her for so long. He took her for granted, you know what I mean? She was always there, she was always helping out, and he just kind of, he was very, Ed had real tunnel vision, you know what I mean? He never seemed to notice this wonderful girl that was right there all the time. And the whole time, I mean, when people would ask me about Winry, 5 years ago from the first series, I would say, what's wrong with Ed? When is he gonna wake up, you know what I mean, and make his move? Because she's awesome. And I always thought he was kind of a dope that he didn't make any move on Winry. So when this scene came up and I got to do that scene, I loved it. I absolutely loved that ending. And then the very, very end, when Ed's on the train and he does that final little monologue, I knew that it was in all likelihood the last time I would ever do Fullmetal Alchemist.
No!
Which, yeah, imagine if that makes you sad. Imagine what it does to me. So you know what I did? I took my phone and I sat it on, I put it in record, and I sat it on the windowsill.
Nice phone case.
And, yeah, I know, right?
Star Trek continues.
And I sat it on the windowsill and I recorded myself doing that last line so I could kind of have a record of that very last, you know, there's no such thing as equivalent exchange. It doesn't exist, you know, that whole thing. You'll have a heart that can overcome any obstacle. Yeah, a heart made full metal. I love it. So I had to record it so I could keep it. And it's on YouTube, actually. I put it on YouTube, so you can check it out there. Yes, sir.
If Colonel Mustang ran for Fuhrer, would you vote yes on miniskirts?
Absolutely. You know what? I think Ed likes miniskirts as much as any guy. He just doesn't talk about it. You know? What? Vote yes on miniskirts. I love it. I love it. Yes, my dear.
You know how fans.
Here, let's let everybody hear the question. How about that?
You know how fans of Justin Bieber are believers, fan of One Direction are directioners? What do you call your fans?
Awesome. I don't know. Somebody needs to make up a name. What?
They're called fans. Nobody even knows.
Wait a minute. Oh, that's funny. Isn't there like a religious group called Wiccans? Give me the Wiccans. That's funny. You know what? I don't know. I've never, can I tell you the funniest Justin Bieber story? Okay, have you seen this online, anybody? Okay, good. I have to tell you this story because it's so weird and random. First of all, let me start this story by telling you, I think he's a very talented kid. He may be a jerk. He didn't used to be. He was a cute little talented kid. But then suddenly he gets all this superstardom and he loses his brains and he starts acting like an idiot. And that's too bad because kids his age shouldn't have that kind of stardom and power. They don't know what to do with it. And so that's why you see all of this stuff online in news about how he behaves so badly and treats people so poorly. But when I always thought, I've seen some videos of him when he was like 10 years old, playing the guitar and singing. I'm like, dang, this kid's really talented. I'm a musician. I'm a composer. I play the piano and write and sing, have for years. I recognize a talented kid, and he was. So one day, I get a fan letter from somebody, and they say, why are you and Justin Bieber having a Twitter war? I don't even follow Justin Bieber on Twitter. I don't even know what you're talking about. It was so random, you know what I mean? It was right out of the blue. And I wrote him back and I said, I have no idea what you're talking about. And they sent me a screen capture. They sent me a screen capture. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Where is it? Is this it? Yes. And it looks exactly like a screen cap of a Twitter conversation. So Twitter, it's got all the little icons and the avatars and stuff. So I want somebody to read this for me, okay? Come over here. Because I don't want to read it. Okay, so Justin Bieber's first. See that?
Yeah.
Can you read what he wrote?
I can't see it, it's like too small. Okay, somebody else can
Okay. It's so weird. And again, imagine this. This is like, I mean, I don't even like write anybody so much on Twitter. Can you see it? So the first one is Justin Bieber, says Justin Bieber, and his little avatar, and then it says,
Vic Mignogna sucks. Come at me, non-believers.
Vic Mignogna sucks. Come at me, non-believers! Exclamation point. First of all, he probably doesn't even know who I am. It doesn't even matter, right? It's so weird. And then, can you see that? Can you see what I wrote back? Presumably.
Say that to my face, you shit. I'm a god.
What is that? In all caps, by the way. Because apparently that's how I write, in all caps. I mean, it looks really convincing. I mean, look, it looks like, right? It looks exactly, look, you asked a question about Justin Bieber, you have to look. It was really unsettling, quite honestly. Because first of all, anybody that knows me knows that I would never write anything like that. And so I couldn't help but wonder who kind of, photoshopped this thing and fabricated it. But someday, I hope, somehow, somewhere, I hope I get to meet Justin Bieber. I don't know how that would ever happen, but I'd love to meet him and just say, hey dude, read this, this is hilarious. Yes, sir?
All right, I just want to ask a quick request of you. My buddy's a diehard One Piece fan. He came dressed as Sanji, and he really, really loves your One Piece first opening song. So I was wondering if you would sing the first verse with him.
Oh, which one? Which one is that?
Come aboard.
Come aboard? Oh my gosh, hold on a second. Wow. Oh, you guys.
Yes.
Woo! I may have that track. Let me see. Yeah, come on. In fact, I would prefer it because my voice sounds like garbage right now. Let's see. This is going to be One Piece. That starts with an O. One Piece. How are you, man? One Piece. Which one? Is this it? No. That's it. I think I do the time in my search. That's A to Z. How about this one? All right, let's do it. Ready? You know the words? Well, I don't. Here we go. Come aboard and bring along all your hopes and dreams. Together we can find everything that we're looking for. Everybody, One Piece. Okay, I'll take it. Compass left behind, it'll only slow us down. Heart will be your guide. Raise the sails and take the hand. That legendary place that the end of the map reveals is only legendary till someone proves it's real. I'll let him do the hard part. Through it all, through all the troubled times, through the heartache and the pain, know that I will be there to stand by you. Like I know you stand by me. Come along and bring along all your hopes and dreams. Together we will find everything that we're looking for. There's always room for you if you want to be my friend. We are on a cruise. We are. Yes, my darling. Yes.
Okay, so I've been following you stuff, like I don't know something. But
Well, it could have been that long.
Team, that's long enough. That wasn't a poke at your age.
Next Tuesday is my birthday, and I'm not happy about it. I was so certain the world was going to end, and I wouldn't have to face it. What is your question, my darling? I would love to be a part of Final Fantasy. Oh my gosh, right? I would love to. Unfortunately, so would 100,000 other people. I will tell you this. You know there's another Final Fantasy game, right? I will tell you that I am a part of it. I won't tell you what or who, because it's not that impressive, but I was excited to be a part of it, so yeah. But you know what, you guys? I have to let you in, I have to dispel some myths that you may think. You may think that because, you know, some of us have been doing voice acting for 13 or 14 years, and because we've been in 200 different shows and been a part of some very popular shows and characters, you might think that we get to choose whatever we do. People come up to me all the time and they're like, you know, when did you decide you wanted to be in Full Metal? Or have you decided if you're going to play a part in such and such? You guys, at the end of the day, I am a lowly voice actor. I'm just a hired actor, and I send in my auditions, or I go to a studio and record an audition just like everybody else. No special treatment. I do not in any way, shape, or form get to choose the projects that I'm working on. I wish, believe me, I wish I did. Because there are several shows that I would love to be a part of. Last week, I was in Otakon in Baltimore. Big convention, one of the biggest. And there was a Japanese guest there, and he came up to me and he said how much he liked my work, and he asked me, are you going to be a character in Attack on Titan? And I said, can you make that happen? Because you'd be my sensei forever. I'll give you all the money in my pocket. I would love to be a part of I'd love to be a part of that. But I don't have any control of that. At the end of the day, I will audition and hope for the best. So, yes, my dear.
I also have a birthday present for you.
What? Do you guys stop doing that stuff like that? You're so kind. Thank you.
You don't look a day over 25.
Okay, I'm in love with you. She just said I don't look a day over 25. You're good. You're good. They teach you how to lie in Canada, don't they? This is gorgeous. Where'd you get it? No, you did not. You drew this?
Can we see?
Can we see it?
Let's see.
Meg, come here. Come on. You are adorable. I am the luckiest old guy in all of old guy land. Oh, I am, I'm sorry to say. Yes, my dear. Yes.
If it's not too much trouble, I'd like to sing you happy birthday.
What?
I'd like to do that.
You want to sing me happy birthday? I have a feeling you're going to tear it up, aren't you? Because nobody would volunteer to do that. They wasn't. Come up here, why don't you come up here?
I want to do it too.
I tell you what, let's we'll let her kind of lead the way, and then you guys can join in if you wish. What is your name? Michelle. Well, of course I do, Michelle. We hang out all the time. Okay, you get the microphone.
Okay. Anyone who wants to join, feel free.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Vic. Happy birthday to you.
She's gonna give you a run for your money. You guys need to do a little duet. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. Link.
Yes. Could you come a little bit closer? There's a reason I had halls.
Come a little bit closer. There's a reason you have halls. Okay, and that's as far as I can get.
I can hardly talk, so that's part of my problem.
Well, that means you've had a great weekend, right?
Now, I'm going to start with one thing that's a little bit feelsy, because you said that full metal heart. A year ago, I got open heart surgery and now have a mechanical heart. So I kind of want to come up and give you a hug.
Listen. It actually fits. That's amazing. Sounds like something I would have made.
Now stay right there for a minute, because we actually have another thing I want to say. You said that Vicks might be a good name, but after thinking of the cough medicine, I think the better name would be Vicks. Put them on your chest.
Now, what are the girls going to do with that? Thanks, put them on your arm.
All right, now I have a question that probably me and the other Link are going to be the only people to actually care about. But a while back there was a Kickstarter for the Legend of Zelda Link to the Past anime. And it didn't reach its goal, but now Zelda Universe has been releasing information that there might be something actually going on. So I wanted to know if maybe there actually was, maybe something's going to happen, I don't know. What do you know?
Yeah, I've heard a little bit. I'm waiting to find out. We were contacted, several of us were contacted by some people that were doing a Legend of Zelda anime, and they wanted me to play a role, and so I'm just waiting to find out. I have heard a little bit of rumbling about, and I hope it happens, because I would love to do it, absolutely. So, thank you, man. You're awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, my dear, with your awesome ball cap.
There's a new anime out called Free.
It's called what? Free?
I thought we could avoid this.
Shirtless boys.
There was no avoiding that question.
No, I'm not Havercorn. I don't do that.
A character named Ren. He plays the voice for. He does the Japanese voice acting for Zero and Tamaki. And I was wondering.
Mamoru. It must be Mamoru Mayano. Yeah.
And I was wondering if you had the choice.
Oh my God. I would love that. Oh my gosh. I wonder, has it been licensed yet? Do you know if it's been licensed?
It's still airing in Japan right now.
Well, it could still be
They could have.
licensed. Wow, oh wow, so it's really new, freed. Wow. Oh, free, yeah, free. You know what, I will check it out, my dear. I will definitely look into it. And again, like that makes any difference. I was so jazzed when I found out that the same voice actor who played Tamaki in Oran also played Zero in Vampire Knight. So, you know, when I got to play those characters, I'm like, man, I want to meet this guy. I want to have a convention, bring him over as a guest, and have me as a guest. And we could have, like, you know, dueling Tamaki, you know, stuff on a panel, or Zero. He sings, too. So I would love to, like, do a song with him, you know. He could do a line in Japanese, and then I could do it in English, and back and forth. There's a song from Oran on one of my CDs, and it's on the concert DVD too. And he sings a Japanese version of it. So I wrote an English version, and if I ever get the chance to meet him, maybe we can do the song together. That'd be awesome. All the way in the back. Yes, you, my dear.
I'm a huge fan of yours.
Thank you. Thank you, sweetheart.
What was it like when you played at Keldeo?
Keldeo! I love Pokemon!
How was it compared to when you usually play people voices compared to
My Little Pony. Is that what you're asking?
My Little Vic.
Well, you know what? Pokemon, of course, you know, a lot of the fan base tends to skew a little younger. You know what I mean? It's a little more of a, it has a little more innocence about it. You know what I mean? It's a little more of a wholesome kind of a, you know. It's not like, you know, blowing up, you know, little girls and turning them into chimeras and, you know, it's not like that. You know what I mean? So, but I, you know, so when I did it, it's when you voice act or something like that, you want to give it just a little bit more of that, you know, that wholesome kid energy. You know what I mean? It would be like the difference between, you know, I'm going to be a sword of justice to I'm going to be a sword of justice. You know what I mean? It's just that little bit of extra da-da-da-da, you know? So I loved it, by the way. I have so many friends who were Pokemon fans, and so when I got the chance to be a part of the Pokemon universe, I was extremely excited. And Tara Strong, who of course, you know, she's doing My Little Pony now, and she was telling me, we were signing together at a convention, and she was signing all these ponies and stuff, and then like a couple of months later, I went to New York to record this Pokemon character, and the moment they put him on screen, I'm like, oh, he's a pony. And I took a picture of the screen immediately and texted it to Tara. And I'm like, look, Tara, I'm a My Little Pony now too, like you. So, she's like, awesome. She's like, what's your pony's name? Keldeo. And so, yeah, we had a fun little conversation about it. Yes, sir.
Funny going back to the whole voice acting base, and now your new, of course, show, continuing on Star Trek.
Yeah.
Tell me, you're more used to being in a vocal booth and just adding that emphasis to characters.
That's a really great question. Maybe as far as like on camera or on stage or screen acting as opposed to voice acting.
Yeah.
Right?
How do you change? Was it really a big?
I'm really, really glad you asked, because I know there are a lot of people in here that probably are interested in voice acting.
Yes.
So it's good that we could talk about that for a few minutes. You know what, you guys? Long before I was a voice actor, I was acting. On stage, I did tons of theater productions and musicals and some on-screen stuff. And I loved it. I loved acting. That's what I loved. Acting. In any form. On stage, on screen. And then, when somebody comes to me and says, do you want to voice act? The word I heard was act. I'm like, yes, I want to act. What was the voice part? And so I went in and auditioned, and I really had no idea what I was getting myself into. But voice acting is different in that a lot of the tools that you would use when you're acting are stripped away from you. If we were on stage right now, if I were doing a stage play, I could just stand here and look at this beautiful girl and go, right? Now what are you getting? What's the emotion you're getting? Right? No speaking. See, I'm communicating with that. Or if I was like, I'm doing this, you know. Right? Gestures, hand movements, none of that works in voice acting. A costume that you would wear to communicate what kind of character you are, that doesn't matter in voice acting. See what I'm saying? All of these things that you would use to communicate a character on camera or on stage are of no use to you now. It's all voice, it's all vocal. Some people are really good at that, and there are some actors that are really good stage and screen actors, but they don't really get the crossover. There are a lot of on-camera actors who, and you guys know very well, there are a lot of famous celebrities that do voices in animated shows and movies and stuff, and their performances are kind of crummy. You know, they're kind of flat. You know why? Because they're just used to standing on screen and looking awesome. They're used to communicating non-verbally a lot and doing cute little things that are their shtick, but that doesn't work in voice acting. So they think they're doing something really great, but when it's just the audio, it doesn't necessarily communicate the emotion. I'll tell you a funny story once. I was doing an anime with a girl, and she told me, I'd never forget, she and I were at a convention together, and she was talking about a scene where her character had to cry. And she was so moved by what was happening on screen that she was actually crying herself. The actress was actually in tears. And so she was like, this is perfect. Let's record me actually crying, and then I'm not even acting. I'm actually, I'm really crying, just like the character. So they recorded it, and they played it back, and it sounded like she was laughing. Right? If you don't see the face, you don't see the tears, just the sound, it sounded like she was giggling. So they had to do it again, and she had to act and make it sound like crying. So sometimes even the real emotions don't necessarily come across authentically, because when you only have the audio, when you only have the sound. But I will tell you that acting, I believe, and most voice actors will tell you, acting is a very, very big prerequisite to voice acting. It's, in my opinion, it's one of the most important things. If you're interested in voice acting, get into acting. Take acting classes, audition for shows at your school, audition for shows at church, audition for shows, productions at community theater. Anything you can to develop your skills as an actor. Because all of the voice actors I know who have done any amount of work, I'm not talking about one show or two shows, but actors that have been around for a while and do a lot of great stuff, all have a huge acting background and acting experience. So that's really the key to voice acting. How can I ignore Maka's scythe? Maka! Your dad loves you.
Give her a hug.
I will drink this coffee like Tamaki.
I will drink this coffee! But not from my mouth. Yes, sir.
I haven't.
Go ahead.
I haven't actually gotten around to watching Oren Host Club. And I'm actually putting it on.
You will not make it out of this room alive.
That's what happened last year with Fullmetal Alchemist.
Sean!
I don't know if you remember that.
I do. You told me that downstairs, didn't you? Didn't you tell me that somebody got you into Fullmetal, or that you didn't watch it? You hadn't watched it last year. Yeah.
I hadn't watched it last year, and then you guys convinced me to watch it. And that's what I'm asking for Oren.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oran is one of the greatest shows ever. And you guys in the room, if you guys think that Oran is a girl show, oh my gosh. Guys, you'll love it.
You make me laugh in it.
Good. I love that show. I loved Oran so much. I fell in love with that show even before it was licensed. Which means that, there was a good chance that I might not have even been in it if it was licensed somewhere that I couldn't audition for it. But it's one of those shows where when you glance at it, if you're a guy, you glance at it and you see like the pretty powder blue jackets and, you know what I mean? And the girls, and the cute little bunnies, Usa-chans and the bears and all the cuteness. And you think, oh, ugh, that is not for me, man. I'm a DBZ man. But then every guy, without fail, every guy that I've talked to who's watched Oran is like, oh my gosh, it's the greatest show ever. Because it's kind of like from the guy's standpoint. If you think about it, it's the guys putting on this club where they entertain girls just to make the girls feel all pretty and special and sweet. They just gush with all this romance and passion and my princess, all that stuff. And but it's really kind of behind the scenes. It all happens kind of behind the scenes of these boys and how they handle all this. I love it. You will too, absolutely. You guys, I just got the infamous wrap it up symbol. Let's take one last question. Listen, let's make it a really good one. I mean, not like, you know, will you say a line or, you know, what, anything like that. Does anyone have a real, are you sure? You promised me it's a really good question?
Let's go, Connor.
Somebody else.
Okay. And he bails out. Okay. Is it a good one? Sure.
What was your favorite nickname to call Kurogane in Tsubasa?
Tsubasa Chronicle is another beautiful show, if you guys haven't seen Tsubasa. My favorite, you know, I play, for those of you that don't know, I play a character named Fi, and he's a wizard. And he's very soft-spoken all the time. He never gets upset about anything. And there's another character that he's buddies with named Kurogane, who's a real hard-ass all the time. Yes, played by Chris Sabat, who also plays Armstrong, so now you've got the voice in your mind. So we did that, and Fi always calls Kurogane by little nicknames. He'll be like, oh, Kuropu, and my little, you know, Kuropu, Kurgs and Kurgi and stuff. And Kurogane hates it every time he calls him. So we did the whole first season, and then we got to the second season. And I was recording the first, like, a couple episodes, and we got to a line where Fi is supposed to say, oh, Kuropu, you know, don't be so mean, or something. And I saw the Kuropu, and I said to the director, I've said Kuropu before. We should make up something else. Let's make up a new nickname. And the director's like, well, I don't know. What do you want to say? And so I thought about it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good one. He's like, what is it? I'm like, just record it. We'll see if you like it. So he boop, boop, boop. And I went, oh, Kurger Burger. Don't be so mean. And he loved it. So Kurger Burger is now my favorite nickname. You guys, I'm heading down to the table for the rest of the afternoon. Please come and see me. I love you guys. Thanks for coming.